So for this talk, we have Amelie and Jesica from AlterMundi. And here it is. Thank you.
Yo voy señalando como te había dicho y te voy pasando las cositas. Así te vas ordenando un poquito. Perfecto. Hola, Amelie.
Chao.
Hello.
Este es el libre router.
This is the libre router.
Estos son los cargadores.
Okay, these are the power supply. ¿Y luego qué hay?
Vamos a empezar con las antenas. Estamos bien, estamos bien, estamos bien. Va muy bien. La antena es más sencilla. Conector.
Estos son los conectores de antenas.
Okay, these are the antenna connectors.
Esto es para sostenerlo a un caño.
This is for connecting it to a pole.
Se conecta así.
You just put it like this.
Este se enchufa acá.
You plug this here.
¡Ay!
¿La otra punta? Bueno.
Ese es.
Así que hacerle una con el uno. Otra vez. Otra vez. Esa. La antena 1 con el conector 1.
La antena 1 con el conector 1.
The antenna number 1 goes to the connector number 1.
Bien. Y acá vamos a sacarlo un segundo ahora. Vos podés mencionar los conectores que están ahí escritos y yo los muestro allá para que lo vean más de cerca, ¿vale? Vos miralo y yo los muestro.
Este es para la energía.
This one is for the power supply.
Este es el USB.
There are 2 USB ports.
Este de acá es un cable que va a la tierra.
This cable is for the ground connection.
Esta es la red.
This is
Para
the network
conectar a diferentes dispositivos.
for connecting to other devices.
Este es el PoE.
This is the
Si
PoE.
lo mueves de un lado o para el otro, puedes conectarlo o en este agujerito de acá, que está acá, lo puedes, o si lo giras para el otro lado, lo puedes conectar en este de acá.
So this is a switch. If you put it on one side, you use the power supply, or if you put it on the other side, you use the PoE over the Ethernet cable.
Último.
Este es la fuente de energía.
Okay, this is the power supply.
Por si tienen preguntas.
¿Tienen preguntas?
Do you have any question?
How much power does it use?
¿Cuánta potencia emplea?
32 volts.
Volts.
Sí, from 9 to 32 volts.
Watts. ¿Y watts? ¿Sabéis cuántos watts?
From 1 to 2 amperes.
Amperes. Okay. So it's like from 9 to 32 volts and more or less 1 ampere, right? So let's say 10 watts.
If you need more, if the node is mounted in a place that tiene un trabajo exigido, si es más exigido el nodo. Si es más exigido el nodo.
Más exigido como carga de
Sí.
trabajo. If the node has more load,
Yes. Maybe you need, if the node
has high load,
high load, you will need more
power.
Yes. Maybe if you don't dimension it well, it will restart. But we always use these that are of 36 volts and 1 ampere. And it's go well, always. Bueno. Muy bien. Muy bien, mi amor. Un aplauso. Está bien. Bueno.
¿Y se puede desmontar y meter dentro?
Mi amor. Si quieres puedes agarrar mi celular. ¿Vale? Al lado de la computadora.
¿Podemos desmontarlo y mirar dentro?
Ah, sí, era la idea, pero me olvidé. Me puse a hablar de filosofía con Pedro y me olvidé.
So we can disassemble, right? Okay.
Carefully,
How do you?
obviously.
Where's the hammer?
Step 1, you grab a screwdriver.
All right.
And all you can do is have some nice screwdrivers.
Yeah, always. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Y después ya te lo quedas. Va contigo este.
Gira. Ancora. Top.
Well, I tell a little about AlterMundi. We work in several fronts about the community networks live. We work also locally and regionally and globally. And most of the things we do it in the free ways. Vos me corregís cualquier cosa. No, yo tengo micrófono, vos
Porque tú tienes.
corregí. So, I will start with this. This will be the photo, the picture to the Amelie's talk. I forgot, sorry. Well, this is the libre router. It was designed by the necessities of the community network of have technological sovereignty, yes, and to stop doing to stop working for against the companies, no, because they don't make routers to community networks or mesh community network with the same idea of who will manage the network, how the people organize themselves to deploy and maintain the community network. So I decided to have our own hardware. Bueno, tienen ahí. And at this stage, we are working on the second version of LibreRouter, because something that Marek said yesterday, that there is a lack of some of the components of the version 1, so we need to redesign the hardware to be able to produce them in a reasonable quantity. Mm-hmm. And about the antennas, this is the China ones, but we don't want to work with this, at least in Argentina. We are working on local production of antennas. In Córdoba, in the province where I live, there is a group of people one of the group is also from AlterMundi, so he's the nexo, the connection or between AlterMundi and this group of people, most of them women, who work manufacturing these antennas. And in Argentina, we are starting to use this antenna. We don't import, we don't ship antennas from China if they will be used in Argentina. This is Carolina soldering Sol. So the antennas are like this, not more like a panel one. They are similar to a car antenna, but with an iron and strong pipe made from a strong and iron pole. And also there is a part of our work about software development with the LibreMesh. Some of you talk about LibreMesh already. And our attention is well put in a Lime app, which is the app to manage some of the information that LibreMesh can give about the nodes. And we try to make it easy and with no hard words to people with no technical knowledge, with sounds or colors to understand better what the node is telling us. Well, for example, this is a node that was configured by a person from a small town 1 month ago, and the first configuration is done with Facebook Wizard. That is a simple, easy way to the first configuration. If you have the first node of the network, only put a name for the network and a name for the node, and the the rest of the nodes of the network, the second, third, fourth, you have to search for a signal, choose the signal of your community network, and automatically will configure it with the information of the first. Then you can do it the fourth with the second one, for example. You know? With any other node connected to the network, it's capable to give the information to configure any other node, new node to the network. So it's very easy. For example, 3 weeks ago, I had a talk with a lot of community network that had 4 libre routers for their first deployment. And in 2.5 hours, they configured with our assistance 24 libre routers in 10 different communities. So the other important thing is about, for us and for community network, is the documentation, but for you maybe it's the documentation about the code, about the software, the development. But for community network, the most important is the information about things to manage, to plan, to repair, and to mount nodes of the community network. So maybe there is things like more theoretical, or more about organization, or how to design a map of the project, because you have to think that there is people that doesn't know the word, the expression of community networks, and 2, 3, 4 months later have to deploy their own community networks. So they have to understand everything in a few months. It's okay? I know that my English is terrible, so if you have to ask again something, it's okay. Documentation about the antennas, the libre router, the libre mesh, and frequent problems with the network, with hardware, or about alignment, how to align antennas, for example, all with this, showing the things that we use when we work with these communities, okay? Just to be clear, AlterMundi is not a community network. It's a civil association that promotes and helps people to deploy themselves, their own community networks. So they are our friends. I live in a community network, Quintana Libre, but some of the AlterMundis doesn't live in a community network, for example. So we always think the different landscape or scenarios, diferentes escenarios or situations.
Yeah,
yes.
Scenarios.
So we think maybe there is people who don't have computers or even smartphones in their communities, very rural and, ¿cómo sería? Precarizados.
Precarizados, with the precarious employment.
No, como de economía precarizada.
Unstable economy. I don't know.
Well, so the documentation has to be possible to be printed, or we always think about the global south. So the documentation is in Spanish, English, and Portuguese. It is also ready to be printed in white and black, well, black and white. Well, things like this that maybe is simple, or I think that there are small things that change a lot the experience of the people who we work for. Okay. So the other really important thing is to use a basic language or basic words, no strange or difficult or super technical words, but and also use the graphic communication, because it's easier even to people who want to participate of the community network and can't read because they don't know to read, or maybe because they can't see well, but or they can understand the meaning of the thing they read because it's too new, no, for them. So this kind of language go faster and more distant than words. This is another example. Sometimes we design tools to, like a checklist, or think that they are not tutorials or explanation about things, sino, ¿cómo es sino?
Just
but they can be sure that they work well, they have done the things well with this kind of images or checklists or both. And talking about graphic language, me personally use graphics a lot because it's easier for me, and encourage the people of the community networks, well, community networks and community who wants to deploy a network, to do it, because it's easier to understand how the network affects or work with the community and interact with the houses, the trees, the other organization or project before the existence of the network. Well, sometimes we have to work in a workshop and make different teams for the mounting of different nodes, and they have to work by themselves. So sometimes use this kind of graphic communication to help them to understand how is built something or how to mount the node. No, I know if they will mount in a wall, so to have the graphic of a wall and how it in each case. Okay. This is a rare thing. And something so easy, so simple like this will help a lot to a community network, to have the cable with this information. Then frequently one community network is deploying a, I don't know, 10 kilometers of territory, no, 10 by 10, no sé. And they have the same cable to all of them, to all the nodes. So it is go through house to house to repair or for mounting. So to have this information will help to be more autonomous to the different houses and group of people who work in each task. This is a design from a person who was learning about community network 2 months, understanding how where to mount the 4 nodes that were given by us to them, and how they link. There is a cable key here or Wi-Fi. How long, how the distance between the craft and the civil organization, popular organization, sede, office, headquarters. This is another idea. These are one of this piece of paper had the information about one place of mounting, and they link them by a cord and use, no sé cómo se llama, cloth clips. Yes. So inspire the creativity. And also they start to ask us things by graphics. They draw the problem and they include the question in the design, in the drawing. See? Did you understand? I see you. It's okay?
Go ahead, please.
He can repeat with a better English. So ask, please. Well, this is another well-detailed map made from other community. All of these designs or drawings are made by Argentinian people, and also work with digital tools. This is because they need, for the planning is very útil. Useful, but also they need to show the project in digital support for asking funds for get bigger the project. Horrible.
Yeah, for asking funds, financing.
Yes, that.
Well, funds, grants.
Well, about the global incidents, well, this is one of the places where we share our knowledge and we reach the yours. This is the group of the LogNet of the APC. Is a sponsor of this meeting too. My son. See well. These are the people of the Cumbre Latinoamericana de Redes Comunitarias. Should be Community Network Latin American Meeting or Summit. In Colombia, the first one was Argentina. And this is an example of how we work and collaboration with other organizations from the region of Latin America. And there is also local incidents in Argentina. We work a lot these years because a lot of things have passed. So we made an encounter, Argentinian Community Networks Summit, and we think how we want to, how we dream
about the way of develop community network in Argentina. And this is a meeting with the telecommunication regulator in Argentina, with others community communicators, no, hay de medios comunitarios.
Common, like common media, like streaming, like TV and communitarian radios.
Yes, yes. Well, with these incidents and these ideas and this power, collective power, we reach. Dale. We empujamos.
We pushed.
Yes, to the government. So in 218, the ENACOM, this entity, the regulator of the telecommunications, made the license for community networks, non-profit community networks. So in that, they recognize us as actors in the telecommunication landscape. Okay, so this is the first step to create spaces and programs and políticas públicas.
Public politics.
For community networks. At the 221, during pandemic, it was very difficult to reach to the government because they are overwhelmed with the situation. And they didn't know what to do with anything about communication. They were stuck. But at the end, we helped them to create a program to community network for funding community networks, yes, by the state. The idea from AlterMundi and most of the people in the Argentinian Summit of Community Network is that there is a right to the people to be connected at this stage. So the government should ensure the universal connection. So if they can't, and community network and communities need to do it themselves, they should help and fund, because we do what they should do. Okay. So this is the first application to Roberto Arias' program. It's a fund for community networks. It's only for community networks because there's another that if you are a community network or a commercial project, you can apply, but this is only for community network. And the other articulation, no. Como trabajo conjunto, jointed work, jointed effort, is with other civil organizations from territories, popular organizations, because they are working in the different territories, in the places where they live, the life is harder, and usually they have community projects, different from telecommunication, from community network, maybe about community Comedor comunitario.
¿Eh?
Comedor,
Canteen,
no sé.
comedor, o sea, para comer. Canteen.
Sí, pero comunitario, o sea, como...
Yeah, like a like a open canteen, a communitarian canteen.
Yes, bueno. For people who, if you don't go there, doesn't
Food bank.
lunch, for example, okay? And we always talk about how this project of community network can empower or help to other previous projects about common goods, about the common effort for the guarantee of basic rights, okay? Like this. This is another bueno, cuando me quiero complicar. Okay. Bueno, so there is also information and documentation and guides and tools to facilitate the application to these funds that we made with no help from the government or from the regulator who made the program. And we are trying to build the first stair.
Step.
Yes, but
Step.
okay, because there is it's very difficult to a community who doesn't know anything about how to deploy a network to apply to this kind of funds, because they ask for a design, for technical information, and we don't want to give them what to apply. So we are trying to teach them first how to deploy 4 nodes, and then with that information and all the knowledge about managing or monitoring or maintaining the community network, they can create maybe not their own idea, how the whole idea, but they can put their color to a basic idea of community network. Okay, then they can dream more in a second or third stage of the project. But this documentation was showed to ENACOM, to the government, and they approved it. They didn't pay, they didn't help with it, but they approved it. Well, there is some of aspectos a destacar de...
Aspectos? Aspectos ¿qué?
Aspectos a destacar.
Some aspects to highlight?
Yes, about how we work, about training communities to deploy their own community network. First of all, we work only with communities that call to us. We are not searching for a community. You're perfect, so I do that because I like it. No, we put the information available. We make talk or events or publication at social media. So people ask us So this could be a solution for our community. So we work on demand. No? We work with a group of people. We don't work with 2, 3 people. They have to be a community. It has to be a community project. So we work with all the people who want to participate from each community. If there are 2, because they don't have more bodies, it's okay. What is it? But if they want to be 8, they can be 8, 10, 15. There's no limit. Always because the information is the same, the questions are similar, the situation that we work for are similar in a lot of ways, not always. Some one of them are rural, semi-rural, semi-urban, or urban. But they have in common that they worked before together in other projects, community projects or something like this. For example, 1 month ago, we coordinate a meeting with the group of communities that are working this month since May in one seedbed. We call seedbed to the training process, no? That we create. Seedbed of community network. Actually no. Now there is 14, maybe 15 community network at the same time receiving this training, and we work collectively. Every week we meet each other in Zoom, all the communities, at least 2 hours every Thursday, and we take different aspects or actions in each of these encounters. And this year we when we did this encounter, personal, no,
physical,
yes.
Physical encounter.
Yes.
Physical meeting.
And 12 of the 15 can come. Think about Argentina is a big country. There is people from Jujuy, Salta, Tucumán, Neuquén, Córdoba, no? And all of them made the effort because we didn't have the money to bring them to Córdoba, and all of them paid themselves the tickets of the trip. And Villa Ciudad Parque Community Network born in that encounter. The 50 people were reunited there in divided in 4 groups the Saturday, and one of each group mount one node. At the end of the Saturday, 4 of them were mounted, connected, linked, and with internet in the Semilla del Sur, the popular organization, the club of sports, popular club, a place where help or accompany pregnant teenagers, and the parks near of this organization. They choose these places. They choose thinking of the impact on the community. All places with common good and facts in common. So, what more? Well, one of the things that we say at the first is you have to think, analyze your situation, your environment, your territory, your social interaction between the people who live or who visit your community, and think how the community network can bring better opportunities to the people, the territory, their project, their life. So maybe it's more important to put a node in a club, or maybe it's more important to put it in the stop of a public medio público. Transportation. And we understand if community networks respond to a necessity, a real and strong necessity, it will be maintained for the people, because they will feel in their life the lack of the community network if it's broken. Okay? So we work strong in that relation between the project and the community. With them, no, they have to think of this thing. We accompany that thinking. This is from Jujuy, the north of Argentina. And they are people who work at the grocery, or maybe they don't make technical stuff, okay? From nothing to deploy a community network in less than 6 months. And we mainly work at rural, indigenous, or disadvantaged areas, because they are the one who need it more. So it's it's easier for us to work this concept of the relation between the necessity, the community, and the project of community network. And the other aspect is the women participation, but not only women, but also families. We talk strongly about how to include the families in the instance, in the plans and the spaces and meetings of the different community networks, mainly because the women and their children are who stay at home the most of the day. Sometimes the men work away from the community, sometimes return at night and sometimes doesn't. So if the woman is who stay at home because work at home or because work at home, paid or not paid, if there is a problem in the node of this house, the problem is first of her, okay? So she needs to manage the solution. And because they like, and because they are needed in a community project, because they give to this kind of project, but any other community project, the stability on the compromise. Okay, ¿se entendió? Sí. In my experience of years, if there is no woman in the project, the project goes up and down, or maybe die. So also encourage como talleres
Workshops.
Planificados por la misma comunidad.
Self-managed and self-organized, self-planned workshops. So proposed by them.
For example, this is in my community network. She was tired because her husband didn't hear her when he asked him why it doesn't work the network. So he always says, it's the cable, it's the cable. So she asked to the community network by phone to have a meeting about how to repair the cable. And this is her house, and a lot of people go to there and see the tutorial, gave the tools and the cable, and try together. And well, and I love to work with my kids. This is in Colombia today with Amelie. When Amelie now we were, she was giving the first talk, but here she couldn't. And it's okay. That's all. Any question? Presta atención porque por ahí no lo entiendo.
I saw that there is a SIM card slot in LibreRouter, so you can put the SIM card in.
No así como viene, pero tiene el socket. No puede poner una SIM card así ahora, pero tiene el socket.
Okay, it has the slot, but you cannot put it. It has the slot, but you can't directly put the SIM card. What?
You can add it.
It doesn't work.
You can add it. It has the socket for plugging it, a module for the SIM card.
Lo tienes que soldar, ¿no?
Do you have to
I don't
solder
know.
it?
Some technical problem. It's ready, but you have to solder it or something.
Okay, it's ready, but you have to solder it.
I think it's because of certification.
It's probably because of certification issues.
No.
If you have a piece of a board and you put a SIM card slot on it, you have to go through extra hoops for certification. But if it's not connected, you don't have to certify for it.
Look.
Yeah.